Magazine news and gossip. The enigma of Kenyammen's fall from grace. What happens when a star who once lit up the skies dims under the weight of whispers, shadows, and heartbreak? Where is the fire that once blazed in the eyes of Kenyammen, Turkey's golden heartthrob? Why does his radiant smile now feel like a distant memory, replaced by a haunting weariness that grips the hearts of millions? Welcome to Magazine News and Gossip, where we dive into the pulse of celebrity life with unfiltered passion and curiosity. Buckle up, because today we're unraveling the mystery of Kenyammen's transformation, a tale of soaring highs, crushing lows, and a question that lingers. Can the real Kenyammen rise again? A star that captivated the world. Once upon a time, Kenyammen was more than a name. He was a phenomenon. His chiseled features, magnetic charisma, and those soul-piercing eyes made him the beating heart of Turkish television. From record-breaking series to screaming fans flooding the streets, Ken was unstoppable. In Europe, he was greeted like a rock star, his every move sparking headlines. His infectious laughter, commanding presence, and raw energy weren't just acting. They were the essence of a man who seemed destined to shine forever. But now, the spotlight feels different. The man who once stole hearts with a single glance now carries a shadow. His face, once a canvas of joy, tells a story of exhaustion, hollow smiles, and deep lines etched by something far heavier than time. What changed? What stole the spark from those iconic eyes? Magazine News and Gossip takes you beyond the headlines, into the heart of a story that's as emotional as it is enigmatic. A descent beyond the physical. Let's be real, Kenyammen's transformation isn't just about aging or a bad day caught on camera. The man who once radiated life now seems weighed down by an invisible burden. Those dark circles under his eyes, the taut expression, the tired gaze, they're not just signs of sleepless nights. They're the echoes of a soul grappling with something deeper. Is this the face of a man lost in his own story? Has the weight of fame, love, or betrayal dimmed his light? Once, Ken's eyes spoke volumes. They carried dreams, passion, and an energy that could ignite a room. Fans still remember the scenes where his genuine smile lit up the screen, where his presence felt like a warm embrace. Now that warmth feels like a distant echo. The man who once stood tall seems adrift, replaced by a version of himself that feels incomplete. The question burns, what happened to the Kenyammen who inspired a generation? The shadow of a toxic love. Whispers in the gossip world point to one name, Sarah Bluma. Elegant, poised, and dazzling on the red carpet, Sarah seems like the perfect match for a star like Ken. But look closer, and the cracks appear. Their public moments lack the spark of true connection. Cold glances, forced smiles, hands that never touch. There's a void where love should be. To fans, Sarah isn't the muse who lifts Ken up. She's the enigma who might be pulling him down. Love can be a man's greatest strength or his deepest wound. For Ken, it seems to be the latter. Sarah's presence beside him feels more like a polished facade than a partnership. Whereas the warmth that once defined Ken's relationships, on screen and off. Fans see it in his eyes. A man whose light is fading, not because of his career or the pressures of fame, but because of a relationship that feels hollow. Could Sarah be the anchor dragging him into the depths? Or is there more to this story that we haven't uncovered? The golden era, when Ken shone brightest. Let's rewind to the days when Kenyammen was untouchable. A solo star, he poured his heart into his craft. His intelligence, multilingual charm, and legal background made him more than a pretty face. He was a force. Fans adored his discipline, his authenticity, and the way he carried himself with purpose. This is a real man, they said, as he dominated screens and hearts alike. Back then, Ken's energy came from within. His ambition fueled him, his focus unwavering. He didn't need anyone to define him. He was enough. Friends and family surrounded him, grounding him in a world that could easily sweep a star away. But now, those connections seem distant. Where are the loved ones who once anchored him? Where is his mother, Goldum, who stood by him through every triumph? Why does it feel like Ken is facing this storm alone? The question fans can't stop asking. The world is buzzing with one question: what happened to Kenyammen? His fall isn't just about a fading career or a string of bad roles. It's about a man caught in a cycle of wrong choices, wrong people, and a toxic environment that's draining his spirit. Fans see it in every tired glance, every forced smile. This isn't the Ken they know, the man who inspired millions with his strength, charisma, and heart. Theories swirl like wildfire. Some blame the relentless pressure of fame, others point to Sarah's influence. But the truth lies deeper, in the quiet moments Ken spends wrestling with his own heart. Has he lost himself in a world of superficial connections? Is he trapped in a life that looks perfect on the outside but feels empty within? The man who once stood tall now seems like a shadow of himself, and fans are desperate for answers. A call to break free. Here's the truth: Kenyammen doesn't need to stay in this darkness. The man who conquered screens, who built a legacy with his talent and grit, still exists. But to find him, Ken needs to make a choice. He needs to step away from the toxic ties holding him back, whether it's a relationship that stifles him or a lifestyle that no longer serves him. The red carpet isn't his home. His heart is. Fans aren't just rooting for a comeback. They're begging for a rebirth. They want the Ken who laughed with abandon, who spoke with his eyes, who carried a fire that nothing could extinguish. But that fire can't reignite in a world of pretense. Ken needs to shed the weight of false smiles and empty promises. He needs to reconnect with the people who truly know him, his family, his old friends, the ones who saw him before the fame. A path to redemption. Imagine this: Kenyammen stepping away from the chaos, taking a break, not just from his career, but from the whirlwind of expectations. Picture him trading the red carpet for quiet moments in nature, swapping staged photos for real conversations. This isn't about running away, it's about running toward himself. A reset, a chance to listen to his own heart, to rediscover the man who once inspired millions. The road to redemption isn't easy, but Ken has walked tough paths before. He's faced challenges with discipline, patience, and an unyielding spirit. This time, the battle isn't on a set or in the public eye. It's within. He needs to confront the mirror and ask, is this really me? The answer lies in letting go of what no longer serves him and embracing what does. Authenticity, purpose, and the people who love him for who he is, not what he represents. The power of true love. Love can break a man, but it can also rebuild him. The right person doesn't dim your light, they amplify it. Ken needs someone who sees beyond the fame, someone who's not just a partner, but a mirror, a protector, a friend. Not a red carpet accessory, but a soul who grounds him. True love isn't about headlines. It's about quiet moments, shared dreams, and a bond that makes you stronger. Fans don't want to see Ken as a shadow of himself, caught in a cycle of superficiality. They want the man who inspired them, the one whose heart shone through every role, every smile. That man is still there, waiting to be reclaimed. But it starts with a choice, to walk away from what's draining him and toward what fuels him. A new chapter or a fading star. This is the moment of truth for Kenyammen. Will he let the shadows define him, living a life of hollow glamour? Or will he rewrite his story, reclaiming the fire that made him a legend? The choice is his, but the world is watching. Fans haven't given up on him. They never will. But first, Ken needs to believe in himself again. The Kenyammen we know is still there, buried beneath the weight of wrong choices and fleeting distractions. His destiny isn't to fade in someone else's shadow. He's a fighter, a dreamer, a man who's risen from challenges before. This time, the fight is for his soul. And if anyone can win, it's Can. A message to Can's fans. To the millions who still believe in Kenyammen. Your love is his strength. Keep cheering, keep hoping, keep reminding him of the man he is. Share this story, spread the word, and let's spark a movement. Kenyammen isn't just a star. He's a symbol of resilience, heart, and the power of second chances. Let's show him he's not alone. Will Can rise again? The answer is simple. Yes, if he chooses to. The fire in his eyes can burn bright again. The smile that stole hearts can return, not as a mask, but as a reflection of his truth. The world is waiting, Ken. Your fans are waiting. But most importantly, you are waiting for the man you've always been. Stay tuned to magazine news and gossip for more raw, real, and electrifying stories from the heart of celebrity culture. Don't forget to follow us, share this article, and join the conversation. Kenyammen's story isn't over. It's just beginning. Let's see where it takes us next.